Hi there, just wait a couple of minutes as normal. Bit of a jack in the box this market, eh? Wait for 4 o'clock. We're getting the, not quite yet 4, is it? No, a couple of minutes to go. We get the PMI coming out and the job openings, expecting 10 million more jobs added to the market. I mean, requesting people to come employment, in other words. Nice situation to be in, eh? Job for Africa and then in this case, the United States. And can't often be filled because the trouble with jobs, it's not just I want a job, you've got to have a skill to, be taken on. And there's a situation, I don't know if you're dog lovers out there, but I know the British are, and certainly the Americans are, and they said enticing to try and fill some of these jobs up, we give them free pet insurance. It's quite cute, that, eh? Okay, 4 o'clock it is. Just a second, let the guys in. Right, PMI came out, 46.2, slightly better. Still the euro dollar. What's happening here? Still something the euro dollar because it came out. Yeah, look what's happening here. Quickly go back to the dollar. Give me a second, guys. Dollar's getting a jump on this one. Right, go back to the economic. Okay, the job openings is 10.7 million, and 10 million was expected. And the PMI came out on the manufacturing for October, 50, just above 50. Now, the price purchasing manufacturers index, the costs, in other words, are slightly higher than expected, which I think maybe it's not that much higher, a tiny little bit, but the worry again that comes of inflation, and worry inflation means interest rates, our good old friend. Good, well done, Knowledge. Good afternoon, Mike and everyone. Okay, so yeah, so it's the worry when you see the word inflation, the worry hawkish interest rates again, which immediately means a slight weakening of the markets and an increase in the dollar. So that's nice to lead into there if you're going the right side of it. Now, I just want to mention something. It came up, actually, Pete, I've just referred to you, everyone. The market's made up of buyers and sellers. You say, well, thanks for stating the absolute effing obvious, but we forget that. You have to have a buyer if you want to sell, and so you have to have a buyer. And that means we have different opinions. So we cannot be right all the time, or you'll never market. So we had a good week last week. We've had a couple out today. They're not so very good, but we discuss it. We decide to. We do the position sizing, and we have what we call the stop loss, which means, like it says, stopping the loss. And that is going to happen. There's not a person out there, I guarantee, who's been trading who hasn't taken the loss. It's a concrete 100% guarantee. It's not your fault. It's not my fault, unless we do something really stupid. It just happens that many variables hit it, and it goes the wrong way to what we require. Okay, it happens. The idea is to try and say, hang on a minute, we've got a few winners out. And especially beginning, it's so transparent, the profit and loss in your face, it can be quite damaging to your health, mental health anyway. So just bear that in mind. You got the stop loss protector, you learn to do your position size correctly. So you said, I can afford to lose, let's say, call it units, doesn't really matter, dollars, rand, whatever. Let's call it 50 units. You don't want to, but if it happens, you can handle it. Before you press the button, I'm buying or selling. And that is the situation you're in. If it's okay and you make great, if you're not, the 50 you can handle. When you move the stop loss away, or you're going too big and you think, oh, well, I must win on this one, that's when you get yourself into financial entanglement, shall we say, the financial dwang. Just bear that in mind. It's disappointing, especially starting, might be your first trade and it doesn't work out. And sometimes it hits the stop and then comes back in your direction. Don't start thinking, well, in that case, I'll trade without a stop or keep modifying the stop, because it will come back and bite twice as much as the one that might have been rescued. So just remember that. Because we don't know, because once we do know, we have a market. We use our expertise, we come to the trading room, we discuss ideas, and we take a speculatory position on the market. And so far, I've found, if you look back, more of them are right than wrong, which is okay. That's fine. Okay, just got to remember that. It's like working, Lorenzo, in retail, like most things, advertising, most things. They're not paying money for a lack of skills and lack of stress. If you can't give in to getting the knowledge, getting the equipment, putting in the money, you're not going to get out anything. Just the way it is. Otherwise, no one would give anything. We'd all be taking. it's like not wanting to buy batteries, just have the radio on all the time. Greatest thing in the past, being on the TV or whatever. You've got to put something back in, and it's just the way it is. And you've got to have some capital. Funny enough, we talked about Zeph this morning about Paul Jason at 50 rand. I had another guy just now in a live chat, highly fed up, because I told him you can't trade with 50 rand. And now he's completely fed up. And I'm trying to be rude here, but use a bit of common sense. You know, I don't go around looking to buy a house 50,000 rand. I might 50,000 rand in the pocket, because it's very doubtful there's going to be many houses that I want to particularly live in for 50,000 rand. You know, so you just got to bear in mind. I'm trying to be polite here. Use a bit of common sense. You know, if you got squat, you're going to get squat. Simple as that. Okay. Now, right. So this is coming off the euro dollar. So that's going to please a few people. So let's go and look at this one here. AUD USD. I was a bit nervous about it because so much stuff is coming up. But some guys, against my advice, quite frankly, say I want to buy this one. I think they're not going to be very happy at the moment. but that's not your fault or my fault. That's the market. The figures just came out at 4 o'clock, and they could have been the other way around. And whoever went long would have been thinking we're wrong. No, whether you're right or wrong in this one, unfortunately, got lucky. If you're right, and if you're wrong, you got unlucky. So don't blame yourself on that. That was a Fundy coming out, which we didn't know which way it was going to be. That's why we waited on it. Okay, so the bottom line is I did see overall strength, whether it's the job openings or the US 4 o'clock Fundy or not. And that's why I preferred to be, but I didn't because I was just a bit nervous on the NZD USD. It looks like that didn't do too well anyway. So as it turned out, that would have been the correct trade. But anyway, being that as it may. Okay, if you went in with a 93.69 stop, I'd be a bit nervous of it at the moment. Okay, just bear that in mind. That's exactly what it is. It's just, and the only thing you got is a computer. If it breaks down, you can't afford to fix it, or the car, you can't afford to fix it if it doesn't work, or put petrol in. You're undercapitalized. And I shouldn't have to explain that to, I don't know, that's a complete, total, obvious common sense, but you know, I don't go shopping and pick and pay with 10 rand in your pocket. I mean, yeah, just, you know, it's not going to happen. Yeah? Or go out to a restaurant, expect to get a hamburger for 15 rand. It's not going to happen. I just, you know, spelling it out, it's a bit sort of tongue-tied, because isn't it absolutely everything obvious, you know? Obviously not. Yeah. Right. Sorry, it's just can't handle it. Yeah. So yeah, this one came off. NZD now has come off, of course. Now I think most of you guys have been stopped out that took it, and now of course it's probably doing pretty damn well. Sorry about that, Mr. Smith, Murray Smith, I think it is. Yeah, sorry about that. It hit the stop, bang, and you got stopped out, I think. And now, of course, it's not quite in profit yet, but not far off it. Sorry about that. Okay, AUD CHF was giving a little bit of jip and coming out a bit of a jip, but I think the last look is not too bad at the moment. Yeah, that's starting to come right. So the guys are in there, wouldn't have been stopped out, been having a few hairy moments, but that's trading. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, Marius. It did indeed. Always looking back, maybe a wider stop, but then sometimes you do a wider stop, and instead of losing 10, you lose 15, or I don't know. Anyway. That's as big as it made. It's still a good idea at the time, and unfortunately, it stopped out. And now, of course, it's come back. Happens, but don't make a habit of next time saying I'm going to move the stop away if it's trying to come back or double up or whatever. Because if it doesn't, now you're in the dwang. Okay, but the point is, I worked it out for you, and you understand that for your particular account, it was handleable. It's not pleasant, but it's handleable. And I think the other one you're in is this one. Obviously, I'm not looking at the moment. You are. I think it's coming right, so maybe get that back. But you know, you got your head on your shoulders. That's the thing, and you're thinking it out, and that's the major thing. And you're starting. You'll get that. There's no worry about that. Trust me. Yeah. Okay. Right. So AUD's coming right. What else do we have? GBP NZD. That was a buy. Not the most confident buy, but we'll see what's happening. What do we got? 96.36. Oh, that's coming all right. That's all right. Yeah. So we're up 30 pips on that one. What a pleasure. Bit nervous, the pound. So I think to play safe, if you took the pound NZD this morning, move it up to your entry so you can't lose in the trade. Not just the pound, it's a bit of a funny market, this, as we know. Don't worry, Murray. Yeah, it's Marius, not Murray. Marius, it's not always like this. It's pretty jumpy this week. Just to play safe, I think move it up to your entry. Get stopped out. You don't lose a percent, don't make it, you don't lose it. At least just plain safe. I think it might be an idea. And at least you're 30 pips in profit. Well, that's a good news if you took that one. If you didn't, well, you didn't. Simple as that. So AUD USD is coming right for a sell, unfortunately not for a buy. GBP NZD is coming right for the buy. And yeah, so there we are. Right, gold, wanted to hopefully get it, but we missed it now. I was up 55 and thinking, hang on, when we start the trade room, I was saying it's getting near to maybe looking to go for a sell. Obviously, that beat us to it, the funding coming out, now it's being battered down again. I don't want to chase this at this level. The problem is getting a risk reward. You want to chase it down to 20, you've got to have only a 10, 12 stop. That's a bit tight. If you chase it lower, there's so many things can happen over the next couple of days. I just don't think the risk is worth the reward, but don't buy it. I think sell's the name of the game, but I wouldn't be joining it now. It's a bit annoying if it does further down, but I just think it's not worth it. And when you get a big movement, sometimes a few buyers come in not buyers come in, a few people who've got short covering will taking profit. Remember, on the short, you buy to exit. Your stop loss on the short is a buy. So if you stopped out the NZD-USD on the sell, that was a buy order. Don't forget that. When you're buying, you sell, stop loss TP is a sell order. The other way around. Just bear that in mind. Okay, so there might be some profit taking, a little bit of a bounce, but I'm just going to check the dollar for you guys. I'm not going too quick. Yeah, it's starting to go up nicely now. It's down at 110, just about 110.70. It's now taken out 111, the DXY that is. So it looks like the dollar strength is creeping back in again. Okay, so that's being made fair enough. NZD CHF, Zef was on the long, I was on the short at 58.45, 48, something like that. Let's have a look at this one. NZD CHF, 58.30. It's slightly down. Okay, so at the moment we've gone at 45, we're up about 8-9 pips. Too quick to move your stop. If you were a short, if you're long, you're 10 pips down. Not a trade smash, but I think the angling movement is down. But normally say we're winner or loser. Just think that's what's happening at the moment. Just keep you up to date. Brent, I'm a bit nervous of Brent, to be honest. Got to get it pronounced properly. Okay, yeah, I'm a bit nervous of it. I think the range is too tight to actually chase. Let's put them in the charge. See what I mean? It's come off. It's hit that sort of top of the range there. So you want to sell it now. You need about a $4 range. So $4 means you want to need $6. That is only 180 away to. You see what I mean? That's only $4 away. You need to be aiming at least there. That's only a 1-to-5 ratio to make it worth your while. It's got to now break through the 10-day, the 50-day moving average. Anything could come up where the Brent could go pick up again. It's pretty much sideways action. There's not enough meat on the bones to chase it, in my opinion. That's my take anyway. It could well do, Zeph. We can tease each other, but I mean that's all in banter fun. You tease me, I'll tease you, and that's hopefully a sign of respect. But the bottom line is take the teasing out of the equation. Exactly, I love it as well. It makes it fun. But we're no good to say you haven't got a clue, and I have, or vice versa, because the circumstances could be otherwise. If that 4 o'clock had come out the other way around, Pietro would be taking the mickey out of me big time. Hey, chicken, you bloody male wuss. Not a trading marine, you're a trading wuss. Look how no, she'd be teasing me. Fair enough. So it's all in the nature of the business, but it also teaches us to understand that we do the best we can, but the variables will come back and trip us up, which often is not our fault. But this is Peter, it's not our fault. No, it happens, just the way it is. You might stumble on and press the wrong button, press a buy instead of a sell by mistake. And for some reason, the variable came in and the Japanese yen strengthened, the dollar weakened. It's the wrong trade, but you win. So, yeah, it happens more by luck than judgment in that case. So, yeah, it happens. You're tending to trade them. That's a big winner to start with. You're not just guesstimating. You get the idea. You're learning. Yeah. Okay, fine. Where are we now? Baba, that's right. Baba's something I want to sell. We missed it. 1 hour. Baba's something I want to sell. We can get a stop. It's a bit tight there. Stop here. Tight stop. That's about $3.50. What's that? 3.5. So I can't really find a decent target. I suppose I could if you're pushing your luck down there. I suppose I could get a target. But I prefer bodies. That's more the range. This is more of a spike. If you take it down to here, which I think is a very good chance of happening, It's only $3, which means you've got to have a stop about that. It's pushing it, pushing it. See the downside, but I'm back to get a ratio. Pity, one of the weaker ones there. I want to leave it. BA starting to come off. We got into BA yesterday. When did we get in at? 141.60. Went to the 143 on opening. Looks like it's coming off a bit, slightly on the downside, but I think it's going to soon recover. The 50 seems to be holding. Look, attacked it, attacked it, attacked it, attacked it, and it seems to be holding. So maybe get some downside. I know this is not the Nasdaq; it's the Dow, and it's also on the S&P. It's not a tech stock, but I don't know. High oil prices. I think I don't know. Going seems to be the way is down. So we'll see. We're not out of a recession, far from it, and so yeah. Dollar strengthening. What are the yields doing? So I'm just going to quickly go over that. Not going too quickly for you. Yeah, yields gone right back up. It's down to 3.9% earlier on, back up to over 4%. So the yields are going up. So you should get some more downside on the shares and on the indices on the share markets. Okay, hope you all know what index is. It's basically a group of shares. 100 of them in the NAS, 5 on the S&P, and 30 of them in the Dow. Okay. But remember, it does have a big figure. But the 30 shares making up the Dow, is those 30 shares combined are bigger GDP than probably the entire continent of Africa. They're so ginormous. That's where you get the trillion-dollar companies. No idea. Everyone asks me that, and my answer is always, I have not the slightest idea. Nobody in the world knows. I've been lucky. I've been in and out and hit the TP literally an hour or two. Not very often. And I've been stuck in some for a few weeks. One time and stuck properly hit the TP in there on NGAS a while back. I was in nearly 2 months in that one. But you say what average? Anything a day to a few days, sometimes longer, depending on the market. Market volatility we can't control. It might be very quiet, very sideways, and sometimes big movements. All depends. All I can say, you can work on getting your position size correct, working on your basics, working getting the right equipment, getting your knowledge going. Then the only thing in the market, it's what's going to happen is up to the market. That means when I say the market, I mean the buyers and sellers. Okay, this is the up and down, and that's the noise. So here, there's more sellers and buyers. Obviously, more sellers and buyers. Now there's a few more buyers and sellers. You get the idea. So that's it. So I can't make. Nobody can. If they can, they don't know about trading. You cannot make that statement. It depends on the market volatility. Hope that makes sense. But thanks for the question. A lot of people ask it, and you probably asked. I'm answering for a lot of people who are a little bit nervous to ask. So that's great. I'm just going to take 2 seconds now. Just hold on. I put on every single session because I'm sure there's new guys coming well aware of it. I'm starting off the dollar index. We mention all the time the traders in here, so you might not have it saved so you know what we're talking about and can refer to it. I just mentioned the yields just now on the US 10-year note. Is all America, whether you like it or not. And then I'm going to put the economic calendar, which again, I've filtered for you to the important stuff on it. If I've missed anything, you can always add it to it on the filter. Okay. Then you can see what I'm talking about when you copy, paste, and save it. Put it in the waiting room. Oh dear, put it on the bloody waiting room. Okay, sorry, I'll do it all over again now. No, I have to do all over again. Sorry about that. Give me a moment. Sorry, I'll be with you in a second, Pete. I'm looking at a cell, but I do the wrong. Educated. You still that's indices. Yeah, do this one now. Okay, sorry about that. I posted the bloody waiting room like an idiot. Okay, now come back to Peter. Got S&P 500 sell. What were the reasons for the sudden move up? Just by explaining economic fundamentals. When I'm talking about the job openings, 10.71, 10 million expected, and then the manufacturing PMI was slightly higher, Purchasing Managers Index slightly higher. That's why the economic fundamentals I'm assuming you've got it copied, pasted, and saved in your laptop and minimized. Each day the threads put up there must be minimized and referred to. That's why you had that jump. Let's go back to the NAS. We'll see a bit clearer on the NAS. Go back to the 5 minute. Look what happened at 3:30 when it came out. Where's 3:30? There we are. Came out right about then, jumped off. Oh, sorry, 4 o'clock it came out. Beg your pardon. Came out at 4. Yeah, that's right. Look, came out at 4, and this is a 5 minute chart. Went right down there, 150 pips. You get the idea. Oh, sorry, beg your pardon. Is this 4 o'clock? Yeah. Okay. So it came down 80 pips and then followed it down. That was a fundamental. So in 15 minutes, it came off 140 pips due to that fundamental. So your S&P, you should have been short. If you're still in it, you'd be smiling. Where before you're probably having, excuse my language, arse twitching. So your S&P is now looking a lot pretty it was than a few minutes ago. It's a 5 minute chart, remember. I hope that's clear. Pete, you got me? The reason why the movement? Okay. Now, remember, I had no idea. Till that was released, I had no idea if it's going to be better, the same, or worse. It turned out it did us a favor. Okay. All clear? As they say. I guess it's come off again. Hey. All right. I'm just trying to mention. Not really on that. Petrol's going up tonight. I presume you all know that. I think how much is it? I think it's about 50 odd cents per litre for fuel. That's over a rand for diesel, but for petrol it's about 50 odd cents going up tonight. Just remember, midnight or whatever it is. I've mentioned before the UK time now, where it's gone back to GMT. Went back on the 30th of October, what we're now 3 days ago, to GMT. So we're 2+ GMT, and then on Sunday night, so don't worry about Sunday, think about it was Monday when the market's open, we will be 7, not 6, 7 hours ahead of New York time, just to bear that in mind. So now you know. Okay, so let's have a check at a couple of trades again. Just want to see AUD, NZD. I think that came a bit of a cropper, that one. It was this morning, wasn't it? I think guys wanted to buy it, actually. No, that got stopped out, I think. Yeah. So we'll put that. So that wasn't one of my favorite ideas anyway. NZD, we're out of that, so there's not much point in chasing that. But it made it worse by looking at it. It's not going to. AUD, CHF, we're still in that one. So let's see how that works out. Still coming right. Just needs to get a bit more momentum. It's trying to come right, which is good news. And the BA1 trying to come off. A bit more effort we put into it. Gold, we missed. Apple's another one to look at. I think we might have missed it. Damn it, we missed it. Had it written down right about these levels, but I think it opened down, so we might have missed it. So I looked at it just before start of the room today, actually a bit before 3:30, and I thought it was a good chance when it was this sort of level, we might get a trade down there, stop up here, because obviously looking to short most of the stuff now. But it's got to maybe confirm break to the 50. But keep an eye on Apple, there's a possibility of that one. If Baba jumps up, possibly there, and gold, which I don't think is going to happen, gets a better price with the short that. Okay. All right, it's been quite a hectic opening. That's why a lot of things coming through. That's why I spoke a bit quicker than normal. I'm going to relax a minute and discuss anything you'd like to discuss. any questions you'd like to ask, anything you've joined and a little bit confused, I'm not sure, please interact, post on the chat line, and I'll explain. Or do my best. Okay, so any questions out there? Anything you'd like to discuss? Whether it be the calculator or anything, don't go to the live chat and explain the explanation when you're on the trading room, when you got the facility to have a proper explanation. You know what I'm saying? It's no point to having it, not saying anything here and then making it clear in the live chat, but it's limiting on the live chat. I beg of you, use common sense because it seems to be not always used. Of course, it's allowed, but the problem is you got the costs involved. All scalping is taking short-term trades, but you've got to make sure you cover your costs. And often you'd find that you're making £5 for the broker and maybe £2 for yourself. You get a Christmas card from the broker, but you're not after Christmas cards. You know what I'm saying? But you can do what you like as long as you got the funds to do it. Absolutely. And just take account costs. I mean, it's about 14 pips cost on the indices. So you've got to make 14 pips to come right. And you've got to make sure your range is wide enough. Okay, but I hear you, Redna. I hear you big time. But yeah, short-term ones are okay, but there's no simple answer. If there was a simple answer, again, you wouldn't have a market. If I can come up with a nice, simple way to do it, why the hell isn't the people with all the PhDs and the computer systems and all that, and PhDs in psychology and analysts and that not doing it? And we can suddenly come along and, you know, clutching $10 and about 5 minutes experience. But you can do it, but be careful. I think step one, just basically, you know, just give it a wider stop and ease yourself into it and pick up the knowledge. Because remember, again, guys, thank you, Ben, thank you. Remember, this is a zero-sum game. So if someone makes 100 rand, it hasn't been plucked out of thin air. It's come from somewhere. It's come from the other guy who did not win that trade. You get my point? So just bear that in mind. So if you lose 10 rand, it's someone else has picked it up. So and people pick it up usually take the trouble to know a bit more. I'm not shouting my mouth off, yes, because I'm hosting it. I tend to win more than lose. That's the idea, isn't it? When you start anything, you've got to learn. You've got to learn. You've got to know your answer. Learn yourself. That's why I'm a little bit iffy with some of these YouTube and Facebook and Instagram posting all these guys standing in front of fancy motor cars, fancy bloody Lear jets, saying $100 and off you go, and they're always good looking and expensive suit. They're selling a dream, and in all reality, not impossible, but odds are against. It's most things, it's, as Churchill said, blood, sweat and toil, unfortunately. And often I get shot at verbally, because I say it as it is. And people want to hear me speak the dream. Unfortunately, we've got to have some reality into it. Okay. You told me your situation, Vedna, and I totally sympathize. So I'll do my best to help. But if we're going to go off into help, I'm going to be on an honest patch. I'm not going to make promises that are impossible to deliver. That's just going to make me dislike myself and you dislike me. So we two of us disliking me, and that ain't going to happen. Got to trust somewhere, okay? The trouble is that might not be always what you want to hear. No problem, Kim. We just reviewed a couple of trades. We haven't got any new ones out yet. We just reviewed a couple of trades. GBNZD, last I looked, did okay. So suggested if you took it, put money up to the entry so you can't lose. AUD USD, I was against, but a couple of guys liked it as a buy. Unfortunately, it's not looking pretty last we looked. NZD USD was a short. Unfortunately, got stopped out. And then after being stopped out, it came plummeting down. So not happy about that. You can certainly ask about ASD. Absolutely, you can ask it. Won't answer it, of course, but you can ask it with pleasure. Just kidding. Yeah, so what I'm chasing it now, I think you might get a jump here. I don't know that the dollar is very strong. I thought you might get a bit of a short covering bounce after that big movement down and to get a better price, but I'm not sure that's going to occur. Where can we put a stop? Is it worth our while? Got to put the stop. You're seeing a hell of a stop here. You've got it out of the way, and you're going to you need at least 200 pips to make it worthwhile. So you've got to take it down there to make it worthwhile. Personally, I think that shit might have sold. If you put it maybe a little bit closer, 70 pips, will that work? That's not going to work. Unless you use a 4 hour, maybe I'm struggling over the 4 hour. See, 70 pips. Unfortunately not. Okay, it's held the 50 on the 4 hour. It might get a bounce. If it gets a bounce, any guy short doesn't want the bounce, but if you're not in, and you get a bit of a bounce to get a better risk reward, you can sell it. Yeah, it's not a good habit to get into, Nasha. I hear you. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I've done it a couple of times myself, but I don't encourage it because when you experience, you know when to break the rules. You know, you're an experienced driver. You often have one hand on the steering wheel. When you're going for a driving test, you have two hands. And sometimes you answer a cell phone, but you wouldn't do on a driving test. You know what I'm saying? Because a beginner does it and it comes right, they'll do it every time and dispense the stop loss, and then it doesn't come right. Now they're in the financial douane. So yeah, it's not something I'd encourage, but I can honestly, I've done it a couple of times, but I can't say I'd encourage it because that often leads to where people now are down, 40, 50%, and now they can't get out of it because they're too scared and hoping it's going to come right, and they're not can't trade because they're spreading it out. And then eventually it might, but it might not. But then the mental stress is not worth it. But so I'm glad you're doing okay, but don't want to encourage that moving the stop. But yeah, slightly different, Ash. And no disrespect, you're quite a clever guy, and you can read between the lines. We talk a lot of guys who are brand new and never heard of the stock market. Now I'm a stock market trader. 5 minutes ago, I never heard of the stock market. Now I'm a stock market trader. You get the idea. So they'll take that as read and start saying, oh, well, I heard the trade, you can move your stop away. And they'll take that. No, we didn't say that. So you've got to be a little bit careful. Yeah. Don't want to get a stomping. But by the way, thanks very much. I didn't attend the 7:30 meeting with the MD yesterday. We need to, I suppose. But I got a feedback from his wife, the co-director, said you said a couple of nice things about me on the chat. So, Nyasha, from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much. Don't know what you said, but apparently said a couple of nice things, so I'm very pleased. Okay, and I'm also pleased, actually, that trade's working out all right. But yeah, you know, you thought you feed a bit, but just be careful. There's nothing wrong with breaking, as long as you know you're breaking the speed limit. But if the person doesn't know, they come and say, oh, my instructor says you can drive 160. No, he didn't say that. You know what I mean? So you got to be careful. Thank you very much. I think I should give him that name Doc. I'm not sure he's taking the mickey or not. So every time I ask him why Doc, he sort of turns away and starts giggling. So I have a funny feeling that he's taking the mickey somewhere. But that being the way, my shoulders are broad. I can take it. Okay, all right, so I think Kim and everyone joined a little bit later up to speed, not a problem. As I say, BA is starting to come right. It's a little bit down, about $1 down, that's holding. So I still see a short on that. So if you're not in BA and you want to do a share, I still see the downside on it. Oil price up there, it's Boeing's aircraft company, oil price obviously, people flying less, zooming more. That's right. I saw that bloody marvelous. So I was giving a bit of jip earlier on. But yeah, so I still see as downside. If you want to do the BA, you're not in it, we can look at that. I won't put stuff up if you're not keen on it. I'm not going to bore you or waste your time. But I want to keep an eye on AUD USD because I just want to get a better price. If we can go up, let's see, we can get it, where's it? Go up to there, 90 pips, maybe there. 50 pips, something that's a bit close. I really want to have 90 pips. It's not going to work. Maybe 80 pips. Yeah, we get about 64.50, which something's going to do. We can sell it down. Just hope it gets a better price. What it would do is profit taking on a minute. Kim and guys, on a minute chart, it doesn't tell you a hell of a lot. All it's telling you is a bit of profit taking coming in. And you know what I mean by profit taking? People not necessarily buying it, just closing their short positions. Remember, there's people out there who've made massive positions on that, jumped in, massive orders. I want to explain, some people know it, but some people don't. The time is like, say now, where that is here, right? Now, you know, at 4 o'clock, somebody's going to be coming out because you know what's coming out through all of the economic calendar. So you'd buy maybe a buy stop here and a sell stop here. So it comes out in your favor, it clicks, your sell stop comes down, or vice versa goes up. Right. Now, these are a lot of high-speed traders. It automatically clicks in, they don't touch a button with very, very large positions. So not all of them get filled, but because the amount of them going down, you get that sudden rush. Then some of them not filled, so start giving a bounce up. So the guys then start closing those because they've got such a large position, virtually no cost. They work for Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, you get the idea. Charles Schwab and Goldman Sachs, you know the guys there. And then we'll start closing and taking that profit. Now, 10 preps might not much to you, but if you've got about 100 or 200 or 1,000 contracts on it, that comes into millions of dollars. You get the idea. So just close them. Then it can just be ordered and closed. By closing your short, you're going to push the price up. So sometimes you get a bit of a bounce. So the minutes, not saying you're turning, it's a bit of short covering. And look at that. Even on the minutes, not exactly giving you a hell of a lot of momentum, it's still a bit indecision. So it might get a bit of profit taking boost up. It hit that. See the indicator hit that. Why is that? Because these are being programmed into these incredibly expensive computers those guys use. Remember, you say, well, why can't we do that? Well, number one, you've got to have an enormous amount of money. And number two, they produce the news, like Bloomberg produces the news. So they have first access to it, understandably. Does that make sense? So you can't really do that. So they would have that program with this area there. If it hits that, bang, they're out. Automatically, without touching a button, they knock that out and it goes back up again. So the duration of it is when some more sellers are going to come in and saying, right, that dollar's still rising. Bugger this, I'm going to go in. So the short coverings start to be outweighed by new short positions coming in. Does that make sense? So we want to short this clearly, but where are we going to put the stop? If you put it to there, that's 70 pips. You've got to look at least 110. So where's 110 going to occur? You might just be able to do it at that price. Yeah, we might just squeeze it, actually. We might just squeeze it. Hang on a minute, we might just do it. We might do it, 62.70. Yeah, we can do it. They are 120 odd bucks a micro. It's above today's high. It's ideally, I'd like it above this one here. Can we still squeeze it there? It's squeezing it a bit. Maybe pull this down a tad. Let's make it a little bit prettier. Okay, maybe that'd be slightly better. Give you a bit more room to maneuver. Means your position size will be slightly smaller because it's now 150 per micro risk. But I think that might be a better one. If we take the 64, I'm looking at the dollar index. It's still looking pretty good. It's jumped up. Might pull back. But it's a possibility of that one if you want it. Well, the bounce of the dollars because the fundamentals fell out. But yeah, it looks like it might sustain for the moment anyway. You can modify your stop if you get 30, 40 pips to the downside and maybe ride a bit more. So we've got a chance of a short on this one. A little prettier, you say, yeah. Make it more stunningly gorgeous, just like me. That's what my mum said anyway. Probably she's the only one who said that. Okay, so if anyone wants to join it, there we are. You know the risks, you know the rewards, you know everything else. If you want to take it, there it is. Any feedback? But Gladys and Angelique. So it looks like they might be sisters. How's it, Gladys and Angelique? Kim's taking it. Who else? Anyone want to join him? And the Ashlet's looking pretty, do you think? Or not pretty enough? Oh, hang on, I think you missed it now. Shit, you missed it. I hope you are. That's 2 anyway. I've got it down at 63.90 as a sell. Just pumped a little bit. Really want to get at 64. Yeah, I think it's starting to look chasing now. I don't think it's going to work. Look at that risk reward. Okay, I've got it down. Fine. See how that works out. But sorry, guys, don't chase it now. I think you might have missed that shit. You're learning Vedna, it's fine. Once you find it, give me a shout, that's fine. But the point is you're making the effort, and that's the point. You're not just sitting there and praying and hoping, you're making the effort. Nothing wrong with praying and hoping, but you need to back up some effort. You're doing great. Okay, promise you I'm on your side. Right, knock that off. Going back to the BA, nobody wants to do it, am I right? Be surprised how good you are, people, if you actually enjoy it and like what you're doing. As I always say if you prefer cricket to football, but you know football makes more money, and so I'll take up football instead, you probably fail because you're not interested in football, you're interested in cricket. Oh, you are? We'll just hang 5 then on BA. Just thought some guys might want it and didn't get in. It's amazing how clever you are when you like it and how daft you are when you don't. Like engineering. I mean, it's embarrassing, you know. A woman asked me an engineering thing, oh man, I must know. I don't. Fixing cars, sent to the mechanic, I'm afraid. Well, it is. Hello, I mean, I've got some engine problem in my car. You're a man, going to help. She's always pretty, and I'm thinking, my God, she'd look at me awestruck if I could fix it, but I can't. But those are skills we want, eh? We don't want another bunch of bureaucratic pen pushers up and out there, like we have a million of them at Eshcon. Got too many people writing out forms, not enough people fixing the problem there. If you have your own business, guys, you'll know exactly what I mean. And if you think it's bad, you should try the UK. It's crippling. The guy can't get work done for bloody paperwork. Keeps the bureaucrats in business. Okay, AUDCHF, sort of revisit, still doing okay, is it? It's doing okay. Might have a bit of noise here. I hope it's going to break through, but it's battled the last couple of days. That's my only issue, so just bear that in mind. Best way to make sure it goes through, if you're in this short, close the position now. I guarantee it will go screaming down. That's the only thing I can guarantee in this world. It's Sod's law. GBP, NZD. Yes, it is, yeah. So move your stop up, guys, to entry. You can't lose in the trade. In fact, you move a little bit above entry. Maybe you can make it at 196.40. Send you back a little bit of profit if it goes wrong. Think it can go a bit higher. Keep it about 30 pips below. Unless you want to take profit at 197, it gets a bit iffy. The round figure, you get a bit nervous. Don't see it come flying all the way back. If it happens in the middle of the night in your sleep, not much you can do about that. But yeah, so anyway, that's doing okay. We get a few good ones out here. We get a couple of bad ones, but that's territory. But well, not good. Oh no. Shouldn't have went to word Eshcom. Your power's lost. That's my fault. Sorry about that, Devan. Sod's Law, good example of kicking in there. We've got anything else out at the moment? Get to AUD/USD. Is it still rocking and rolling? AUD/USD sort of come to a bit of stop, but anyway, so be it. What about this one here? Because some guys are still in it. Yeah, that's starting to look a bit prettier now, isn't it? Be careful, guys. If you're still in it, don't want another bloody catastrophe going up there, eh? Okay, I think that's me. If anything else I've missed, we had an NZD/CHF. I wanted to short it, and Zeph and company wanted to buy it. Right? Yeah. NZD/CHF. How's that doing? Don't have anyone in on this, by the way. If you did go in the short, you are in a little bit of profits, about 20 pips. If nobody did, we won't worry about it. But if you guys went in on this to buy or sell, it's an update. It's about 20 pips in profit on the short and 20 pips against on the long. So that's another to look at. Anything else? What about we missed this one? I'm pretty sure again. Yeah, totally missed that. Pity. I got it earlier on. Hey, I missed that this afternoon, fiddling around. Came off nicely. 3 hours ago, we didn't have 432. Hang on, I missed that. Yeah, I missed it. I've got all about it. Looking at other stuff. Calls to make, people to speak to, you get the idea. Now we could have got an entry. That would have been okay. Anyway, I won't chase it now. US dollar CAD probably jumped a bit, but I still leave that one. And the Swissy, I'm not too keen on that one either. No, leave it. Okay. Tesla's coming off a bit. Such a volatile share, Tesla. I like to short it, but it is a hell of a volatile share. I think some of the problem with Tesla at the moment is you can't pay $40 billion for Twitter without having the money from somewhere. So obviously you have to sell off the shares. The problem with that is once you start selling them off, you will create a bit of a movement down. I know you get an investment banker and he'll just pick them up and just be a share swap on that basis to try and minimize market volatility. But still, when you get rid of that kind of amount of money of shares, it's bound to have a little bit of a negative. And how I think Twitter is more a labor of love than financial proposition. You'd be interested to know it's he paid $40 billion for it, but it still hasn't yet made a profit. You find everybody there on these fat money, but the company itself hasn't yet made a profit. Sounds like Transnet, eh? Sorry if you work for them, but still. I don't know how you feel about it. I'm quite pleased about that. Because at the moment, everything's so one-sided, so you might get some two-sided arguments. Now Twitter's been freed up. It was definitely a sort of a billionaire propaganda tool. If anything said against what they wanted to say, immediately not allowed to. The land of the free, not anymore, my friend. The GBP USD coming off a bit of luck. Good stuff, that's coming off. A couple of people in there. A couple of people on here now know the person I mean, so that'll be a bit of good news. Okay, anything else you'd like to have a quick look at? AUD/CHF is still trying to come down, that's good news. Out of that, after that one that kicked you out there, sorry about that, Mr. Smith, Murray Smith. So it might come right. Before getting guests, I want to check it. I want somebody bounce up again. Just be careful of that. Watch it there, Murad. Don't want it to come bouncing back up again. Okay. Well, before you went in there, Kim, it was quite openly said, this is paint dry job. So if you're going to go for NGAS, just make sure that you've got enough free margin to buy and sell other instruments. Don't tie it all up in this one because you get stuck for a while. Until that time, I got in at 9 something, I got about 7. Took me about 6-7 weeks to get there. Well, but I had enough money, luckily for me, in my account, I could let it carry on. Modified the stop after a while and made sure I just let the damn thing run, and eventually it did hit TP. I personally think you should let it run, as long as it's not tying up your capital. That's the only thing. So I say, before you do NGAS, you must understand you will not be able to, you've got to have enough free margin, other money to spend to do other stuff while you're sitting in this one. But yeah, I don't see why that should go up. This is clearly on the 4-hour holding. Look at the daily. Well, it's a bit of the 10-day seems to be holding. I don't see why it should go up a bit more. But if it's in profit and you're getting a bit fed up with it, just take it, okay? Because it is a bit of a grind. You're doing all right, Kim, with this, because you only just joined us recently. Are you doing all right, this trading room stuff? Is it working for you? Good. Okay, so if your mind lost NGAS, just hold it out. That's fine, and just see how it goes. Okay. Well, as long as it's ticking over. Some guys go in there and it's not even doing ticking over. They're just getting nowhere. So at least it's ticking over. Good. Dollar still strengthening. You'd be pleased to know. Should all have it minimized and be aware of it. Wednesday, don't forget, 8 o'clock in the evening. Interest rate 75 basis points. Can't say it's a certainty, but I'm telling you right now, it's at over 90% probability. But it can't guarantee it. You'll certainly see the markets move. It's not that, tell you. Okay, is the NAS still coming off? Yeah, so S&P should be doing all right. Should be, guys, you should still be in the S&P. If you guys are still in the S&P, you should have got in it at, where did I have it written down? Yes, 3890. So you should still be in it. You should have been stopped out. Nowhere near stopped out. In fact, now you can move your stop. It's taken out at 60. Let's play safe here. Move your stop to just below. Make it maybe 3880. There we are. So at least you covered your risk. Okay, and hope it continues down. If it doesn't, well, you don't lose. If it does, well, you make some buckaroo. So it's muted because a bit of background noise there. Might have been a private conversation, don't embarrass them. Record it for YouTube, eh? For posterity. Okay, so that seems to be coming right, which is good. Any other trades you'd like to look at, guys? This thing's trying to come off, but hey, look at it, amazing. Not the sure it's doing up there, actually. I think it's going to fall at some stage. Anyway, you want to buy it? Before I say on that, Sim Dealing wants to buy this. Who's keen on buying the Euro USD? Who wants to buy the Euro and sell the dollar? Who would like to do that? Probably guess what I'm thinking, but yeah, I'm not too sure about buying the Euro against the dollar. the rampant dollar screaming up, Simondini. Why would you want to go and sell the dollar and buy the euro? I'm projecting a further push as well to the downside. I'm absolutely expecting it to go further down. But it's so volatile, I'd rather risk getting knocked out at breaking even than leaving the stock a long way away and taking a loss on it. But if you say you're convinced it's going to come down, you strongly believe it, then you can leave the stock higher up and risk losing on it. But yeah, I do see very much so. I totally agree. Okay, now go back to euro dollar. Simondini, why would you want to buy the dollar? Buy the euro and sell the dollar? The DXY is clearly taking off. So what motivates you to think that you'll be buying this one? It might be a good reason. We haven't learned. That's why we're asking it. Zeph, you might want to join in on this because I don't see it. I see a short here. Anybody see a buy on this one? This is what the trading is about, where we discuss. Remember, this is free speech area within reason. We mustn't get nasty to each other, but from a learning perspective. Bulls are coming up. Okay, I'm not sure you get much joining in there. Is it coming off now, is it? That's a really quick trade, very dangerously quick trade. And there's no pullback yet on the dollar index. What's the ZAR doing? Not doing much. Not doing much. Okay, back to euro dollar. Well, first of all, it's entered now from the neutral to sell zone. It's below all the moving averages now. Still a work in progress. I get that, so it could easily jump up. It's got a bit of, I get that as well. It's got a bit of resistance there. I can see that. But if I look at the DXY now, that does not give me a jump on the euro dollar. That gives me more downside. I like going with a cell phone, are you? Just teasing, I do typos all the time. You have to be honest, Picture, you're an extremely courageous trader. Give me a Jew. Making me feel a bit wussish here. Good for you. Well, bloody done. Yeah, I see downside this one. Before we go to the downside, I just want to simply put up anybody going for a buy on this one. Let's just clear that out of the way first, because we can all learn. I might be missing something. Zeph, what do you think? You see a buy on this one? Not worth seeing, eh? That's why I hide it. A few years ago, the camera loved me, but not anymore. As we're talking, it's coming off. We're selling this. Can we get I'm talking about a sell. If you want to go buy, I'll put it up with pleasure. So we get a risk reward here. It's flying as we speak. Going to put it about there. It's going to be 100 pips. So we're going to look down here. We can just about squeeze it. Okay, Jerry. Well, I'm clearly not. I'm not going to sell it on that. Might be wrong, but no. There we are, and the T being put down. May put down here. 97, call it. It will cost you 170 bucks on. That's your problem. It's coming off as we speak. So if you're doing it, rather press the sell button, put your SL and TP in afterwards. But that means you can't go into this one unless you've got 2 grand or more in your account. Anything below 2 grand, the risk is a percentage of your capital is far too high. On 1,000 rand at 16%, way, way, way over. 500 is absolutely impossible. It's more than 50%. Well, no, what I'm talking about, it's about 30% of your capital. So absolute 2 grand or upwards to go in for 1 micro. And if you've got 4 or 5 grand, you can go for 2 micros. Get the idea. And the dollar's still rising. So if you want to do this, grab it. Do you want to do it? Petro, you like it? Kim, you like it? I'm putting it down for you whether you like it or not, because it's pretty good. You grabbed it. That's what I did a few years ago. That's why I can never be a famous politician anymore. Oh, no, what am I saying? Great stuff. So you changed your mind, you're Sidman Veely. Ah, you're going for the short now, eh? Good. Just laugh the other side of my face, it suddenly jumps up. Right, knowledge, I own it. After you've overcome your convulsions and laughter at my physical appearance, pull yourself off the floor, stop laughing, and go for the trade. Is that right? Yeah, you got that, did you? Because it's not what he does or the strategies or whether he reinvents the wheel or not, solves the economic problems of the world. He grabbed somebody's bum 50 years ago when he was a teenager, and oh my God, now of course, yeah. It's the puerility of some of these news is indescribable. And it gets worse on Instagram. Often go on and just shake your head. Instant means, you see this number here, short or long, so change it to short. This number corresponds with this one. Short will correspond with the sell or the bid. The difference between the two is the market maker spread, and on the spreads account, that's the market maker's brokerage or profit. Okay, that's why when you go in, you'll see a minus sign, because you're going short on that, and that buy has got to come down to that to break even. Once that goes below that, net profit to you. Okay, if you put it on pending, that means you want to get in a different price. So you want to sell this at, let's say, 0.98. What's the price there? Make it 80. There you are. So you want to have a look at the 0.980. You have a look at that, gives you that reward, that reward. I'm going to take a risk and say, I'm going to risk missing the trade, but I want to set it at that price there. So that would be a pending one. And then you put your pending order in. Remember, if it doesn't get filled, rather delete it, rather than leaving an open sell order in the market, which you've forgotten about, which might get triggered a week down the line, and suddenly you're in them and you've forgotten all about it. It's going the wrong way. So if it's not going to get triggered, delete it. If it's a pending order, it can be good till cancel, which means you physically delete it, or day, which means it'll automatically close the pending order at the end of the day. Somebody said, "Will it cost?" There's no cost involved. It's a pending order. You're not in the market. It's just saying I'm offering to buy at a different price to market price. But that's all clear. And that's what I like about this particular calculator is the fact that never used a stop limit, so never bothered. And I'm mostly a market person, but that's the way I am. But it gives everything there simple and straightforward. So there you are. Is it dropping now? I just thought dropping. Oh, with GBP NZD, we're going to buy. Okay, well then maybe I don't know. It will do up and down, eh? Dropping now. Well, where's your stop? If you should have moved your stop up to, let's say, 96.40. So you won't lose, you get stopped out. It's still 20 pips away. It might jump back up again. What's the 15-minute chart? Right up there. Might have been a while to take your profit. And some guys might just take it. If you got to the 97 round figure, they might just take it. But if you got at 40, you won't lose on it. You might not make it. You won't lose on it. So you might get lucky and have a bounce back up. Okay, makes sense? Okay, I'll go back to euro dollar. So there you are, if you want it. This is a bit of noise coming in. Don't take any note of that. See a bit of green panic. Don't do that. That's just noise, buyers and selling. And already you've got a few sellers coming, even on the 15-minute. In fact, pull on the 5-minute. See, even the 5-minute, a few sellers coming in. So down is, so that's good enough price. You want to take it. Just a word there. In the trade might have a problem, but as a guy just came on there and asked me some advice on the trade to do, and I happen to know he's on a demo, and I said to him, I cannot advise on demos, only on. Okay, beg your pardon. He's funded his account. Beg your pardon. I can't advise on demos. I can. I'm not allowed to. I must be alive. But if you're coming in here, you're learning the ropes. That's different. But don't ask for advice on the trade or a demo. Okay. Okay, Pietro. And Kim. Okay, so looking pretty good, that one. So leaving there, Kim, looks good. I don't know if you got in there, Pietro, but if you did, it's looking pretty good. Excelente. Looking very, very nice. Okay, AUD/USD 6.4. How's that doing? Bit quiet, but at least it's in the right direction. GBP/NZD, we looked at just now. Is any recovery coming in? Yes, it's starting to recover again. Good. Euro, just the euro, that's feeling all right. BA coming down. S&P, that's right. S&P coming off a bit more. That's good. So BA in theory should be coming off. It's not. I don't know why that is. I really don't know. And they had some good earnings out, surprisingly, but that's what is scammed in the market. Can't see that being sustained, but we shall see. Okay. It's getting a bit warm for a pleasant change. The sun's coming out. So I'll take off my jacket. Got a green shirt on because I want to see some greens, not some reds. Unless you're going short. Dollar might be coming towards a bit of resistance because all I can see is green in front of me. Well, I'm bullish on money. There we are, Vedna. So if I'm short, to me, that's green. All right, we have blue in our color here, green. So I'm bullish on shorts at the moment. Gold, yeah, no, can't do gold. Now to the 15-minute, further 15 to look at to see the movement. Yeah, it's not much recovery on that. Try it again there, indecision, downside. Now I'm totally with you. If you're in the after, yeah. In theory, but it depends on the trending of the market. To me, the market's fairly overall pretty iffy. So I'm very much tend to sell, and I tend to agree with you on the S&P. I see fair whackage. I'm talking about now the Nasdaq. If we can break 11,000, because they've got so many enormous tech giant stocks in there, they're also in the S&P and they're also in the Dow. So Nasdaq breaks 11,000, it should take down basically most of the world's indices with it, to be honest. We looked at, are you still here, Fine? No, Fine's not here. Want to look at FTSE. I think we missed that, about 7,200 or something, I can't remember now. Where is it now? Yeah, look for it short about 7,200. Put in the daily, see what we're doing there. For short, but bit iffy. Not many people trade anyway, so we'll leave that. A little bit of red at last we're seeing on the DXY, but not sure. I think it's going to be short-lived. So yeah, starting to look a little bit better today, this afternoon, than it was earlier on. Just a pity about the NZD CAD. Very much a pity that. NZD USD CAD. It's doing nicely now. What a pity for you guys. Should really tell you this, but I went in again, higher up. Anyway, so it is. AUD CHF, is that still doing okay? See, it's all over the bloody place, this thing is. Can't really get moving, can it? It's almost holding it up. Swiss is quite strong. Why don't you get moving? Anyway, whatever. Okay, anything else you want to look at? Any other trades you're in, which might be a trading room trade, but you're in person, you want to have a look at? Or then you'd like to look at, or you'd like me to look at, or something like that. Voice an opinion. It helps, and then you think, well, let's discuss it. Yeah. Break through the comfort zone. Okay, Pete, see you tomorrow. We can discuss it. Might find, oh, I've learned something. And we learn it and discuss why I think it's a long or a short and leave it alone or whatever. I take it you've all got your charts sorted out. Anybody new there? Haven't got your charts set up comfortably. If you don't have it set up comfortably, just right click, go to properties right at the bottom there, and then you can set it up as you like. Don't over clutter it. You must see what's going on the charts, not have hordes of indicators we can't see the wood for the trees. Okay, Mike. Otherwise, it's not doing too bad. AUD is not too bad. Euro dollar, last I looked, was okay. GBP is okay. S&P is okay. So it's not too bad. NZD CHF, I had this one for a short. What's happening there? 58.36, not much happening. 45 we got in. 10 pips better than nothing, but not much happening. See what I mean? We might have looked to short it from the top there, and look, came down, bumped up again. So leave Brent alone. I mentioned that in the weekly snippet. A little update over the weekend, which is sent out by the company on a Monday on oil and the NAS and gold. And I said that short the rally on the NAS, which seemed working out. Gold and oil, I said this time, leave it alone for the coming week. You seem to be bearing that up at the moment. Okay. Just wait for this damn BA to start coming off. I'm sure it must have run out of steam by now. Was there any on gold? Apple, do you want to chase it here? It's breaking through. I don't know, I'm a bit nervous of it. Okay. Anything else? You've got your DXY and all that saved. You've got your calculator, you know about the charts, you know about the spreads, you know what a margin is, you know about what gearing is now to explain. If you're not, I'll explain. We've got a few minutes left to explain. You left click on the instrument of choice and then right click and then left click on specification, gives the information. You've got to understand the information. It's all there. Okay. So you know how to get at all that. If you're not sure, it's the ideal time to ask. We've got a quiet minute on trades, and don't try and go back to live chat and ask when you can ask when you're in the trading room, because this live chat you cannot. It's not. You can't. This is you can't obviously. So if you're not sure, and don't do live chat and trading, if you've got my number, you've got to come to me because they're not allowed to advise you. The account manager is there to assist you in opening up accounts and do what we call intermediary stuff. They're not there to advise you. So if anyone do trading advice, none of that, you'll automatically have to be put through to myself. They've got no choice. Okay. Sorry if you don't like me, but tough. But rather just come WhatsApp direct. But here's an excellent chance to learn stuff if you're not sure of. Okay, is there anything else? Well, there's only a couple of people left now, a dozen people left. Gladys, Angelique, any questions? Henny? I'm not who Mr. MakePad is, but just the name of your whatever. Did Chupo, Etienne, of course, Clive, Charmaine, anything you want to just clarify you're not sure of? Now we've got the chance to do it, to explain. But I do hear sometimes you don't have the question to ask, but yeah. You've all copied and pasted the 3 links I put on now to keep an eye on. Very, very important. All got the calculator, you know how to use it. And anything else you're not sure of, let's just use the last couple of minutes to clear it up. Here's your chance. We'll say speak now or forever hold your peace. Just wait a moment. If not, I'll close up for the evening. Ashley's back on tomorrow, as far as I know, and I'll catch you next time around. There's nothing else you want to inquire about, that is. Okay, fantastic, Simpidili. Hope this euro-dollar works out, because you turn out and shoots up, we won't be very happy chappies. It seems to be trying anyway, but we'll see. Okay, catch you tomorrow. Cheers, mate. See you next time. Thanks, Ed. Bye. Okay, yeah. But once you fund your account, of course, don't ask me on the demo, just once you fund it. Okay. And then don't forget to remind me to upload you once you're funded onto my group, so you'll get automatic daily updates and you'll get signals posted there as well. Okay. So don't forget to tell me once it's funded and I'll upload you. Okay. Oh, I forgot that, but buddy, quick trade on. You haven't seen my ugly face. I suit you me now, knowledge. I didn't realize I forgot to put the video on. No wonder you're teasing me. Oh, I get it now. I thought I'd put that on. So I'll try and remember next time. Thanks, guys.